Thanks for joining our special live coverage of the policy discussion with citizens. We are waiting for the 13th such meeting to begin, as was the case for the last edition, which took place in Daejeon City. The talks will take place once again outside the capital, Seoul, this time in Ulsan City. Now, the theme today will be Korea's new leap forward, Ulsan. While we wait for the discussions to begin, let's look over some of the sessions that took place in the past few weeks. The very last one was held in Daejeon City. It is a city well known for the country's research and development city. There, President Yoon Suk-yeol vowed full support for young scientists and researchers so that they can focus on their studies and research without worrying about tuition and their living expenses. So at least 800,000 Korean won, or that's around $600 per month, will be made available for master's students and $820 for people doing their PhDs. Also in Busan, President Yoon pledged to turn the city into a global business hub. This is in line with the country's ambitions to narrow regional gaps and spur development across areas outside the capital. President Yoon Suk-yeol is about to deliver a speech ahead of the discussions. We'll come back right afterwards.
바로
At ease,
모두 자리에 앉아주시기
please
바랍니다.
take your seats.
네, 안녕하십니까?
Good
저는
afternoon.
오늘 다시 대한민국
We are
울산과
here
대한민국의
today to
새로운
talk
코리아,
about Korea's new leap
13번째
forward,
국민과
Ulsan and the
함께하는
Republic of
민생토론회
Korea, the
진행을
13th edition
국무조정실
of
송경준 사무관입니다.
policy
먼저
discussion with citizens. My name is Song
모두
Kyung-jun.
말씀을 하시겠습니다.
The president will deliver his opening remarks.
제 앞에
Well, in front of
다시
me,
대한민국
it says, once
울산과
again, Republic
대한민국의
of Korea,
새로운 도약이라는 이런
a new leap
백드롭이
forward
아주
of Ulsan
인상적입니다.
and the Republic of Korea. This is very
대한민국 최초의
impressive.
산업기지가 조성된
The very first
울산에서
industrial base was formed in Ulsan. I'm very glad to see all of you in
1962년
Ulsan.
1월
In January
공업지구 조성을 위한
1962,
토지 수용 특례법이 제정되고 일주일 후에
to form the
박정희
industrial
대통령께서
zone, there was a change of revision in our law, and the former President Park Chung-hee had designated Ulsan as special industrial zone, and ever since the history of Ulsan began. And as he was breaking the ground for Ulsan as special industrial zone, he wanted to make this place as a stepping stone for our people to live prosperously. And he declared that this place will be the special industrial zone that will start as and be the new leap forward. And still today is living the Tower of Ulsan, and when this is one of the landmarks of Ulsan that we have the industrial tower. Ever since, for the last 6 decades, Ulsan has led as the unstoppable heart of the industrial realm of Korea. It has been working ever since. And it is at the leading position in terms of many industries such as shipbuilding and so on. And the history and the development of Ulsan is as the same as the history of the development of South Korea. Ulsan is now facing new challenges in the era of technological revolution, and I believe the concerns that we have for Ulsan is the same, is that of Republic of Korea. So we must transform from a fast follower to a fast mover. And we need new growth engine. And with this new growth engine, Ulsan and the Republic of Korea will take another leap forward. And for this, the first and foremost importance is that we need to have a location for the development of new industries. And to go step further from that, we have to, by improving regulations on the use of development restricted areas, we need to expand economic value creation by efficiently mixing labor, capital, and technology. We have made bold deregulation to this end, and for the new industries, the cutting-edge industries, and the flagship industries, they could move into this complex. And also, we have and we are pursuing a revision in the law that would be restricting the use of such land. And also, the complexes, industrial complexes, are transforming itself from a traditional place to where different kinds of industries can come together. And from the 1960s to 1970s, these places, these lands were named as restricted areas, and I believe that this was much needed back then. However, the Republic of Korea, the industrial revolution has taken place, and now what we're seeing today is very much different from what we have seen 5 decades ago. So with this green belt in place, we are not able to develop new areas for further development. And during my campaign, I have pledged to the citizens of Ulsan that the deregulation of Greenbelt would happen, and I will stand by my word. Here at Uljugun to Ulsan city center, all of the vicinity is greenbelt. And now it has been 3 decades since this was a restricted area. In the past, it was Ulju and other vicinities, and now it has developed so that the roads are going through this city. Although this is a green belt that is restricted at the moment, if there is an economic value and if there's a need of the citizens, we will change this. And the balanced development of our government, the principle of this is that if the region develops its industry that they think that they have a competitive edge against other places, we are going to avidly support this. And also, we are going to guarantee the autonomy of the local government to this end. Moreover, what was the biggest obstacle, the decisive obstacle to release the green belts was the uniform release criteria. And even if all these uniform release criteria will be completely overhauled after 2 decades, if we have a place where the infrastructure is there, we are going to decrease the regulation criteria so that this could be utilized. And the investment that is necessary for the region by boldly revising such we are going to support the innovative use of the new areas and land. And smart farms and vertical farming are fields that can create high added value, and this itself could
제가
advance
작년
into
재작년에
the global market.
작년에
Last year,
UAE와 또
with UAE
카타르,
and
사우디를
Qatar
방문했을 때
and
이런
Saudi
수준의
Arabia,
농업과
when I was
스마트팜을
visiting
하는
those
우리
countries,
기업인 청년들이
the
동행을 했습니다.
entrepreneurs and the young
그
entrepreneurs
지역에서도
who are
우리
involved in the
대한민국의
smart farm and
스마트팜
vertical
기술을,
farming were
수직농업
accompanying
기술을
myself, and there
이전해 주기를
we
그리고 투자해 주기를
have talked
많이
about
원하고
the knowledge
있습니다.
transfer from Korea to these countries, and they are really in need
그런데
of such
이
activities.
농지라는 개념을
However, the farmland, the
바로 땅에서
concept of
붙어서 경작하는
farmland,
기존 방식만을 적용하고 있어서
it
수직
is at
농장을
the
하려면
moment
일일이
reflecting only the concept of using the farm itself, meaning that vertical farming and new kinds of farming has to go through another step of licensing. So this kind of regulation would be also released, and also we have to lift regulations on agricultural land left over from development of industrial complexes, and in Ulsan itself, it has more than 200 million pyong of land that is left over. So we need to utilize this area. And so by doing this, by deregulating such farmland regulation, we can use this as a cutting-edge agricultural facilities, such as experiential facilities and vertical farms, and resident welfare facilities to be built as well, meaning that schools, hospitals, and libraries can come in as well. And this would translate directly into the good quality of life of the people who are living in these regions. And therefore, land use regulation reform is absolutely necessary to open a livable local era. And to this end, 12 ministries and local governments will come together to look at 336 land use regulations, and we are going to take a full survey of these regulations and to quickly remove the outdated regulations that cannot keep up with the changing times. The upgrade of international competitiveness of Ulsan's traditional flagship industries and is the initiative of Korea itself, and to this end, shipbuilding, automobile, and petrochemicals of these traditional industries we will use all kinds of political measures, all kinds of policy measures to make Ulsan a better place to do business and to better place to live. We have a Shine project that is over 9 trillion won, and this project will create more than 16,000 employment, and it is an astounding amount of economic value that will come about. Also, the industrial base and educational base for these to connect, the Ulsan area will have the special education zones, and we will boldly promote this. Here we are joined by the mayor of Ulsan, the citizens of Ulsan, and the entrepreneurs of Ulsan. The change of Ulsan and the leap forward of Ulsan, I would like to ask you for your candid opinions. We are listening to the voices of the field, and we are going to pursue the changes that are necessary. And by doing so, we are for sure going to change the Ulsan as it's needed by the citizens. Thank you.
네, 대통령님 말씀 감사합니다.
That was our live coverage of President Yoon Suk-yeol's speech ahead of the country's 13th policy discussion with citizens under the theme of Korea's new leap forward, Ulsan. We'll bring you more details on the discussion in our upcoming newscast at 6 p.m. Korea time. Thanks for watching.